ladies in blue. We all came separate and we all dressed the same. So I don't know what that means, but
good minds think alike.
Yeah. Navy.
You know that I talk a lot about health, and I was saying to my friends that, of course, health at your age and at my age is very different. What are the issues that your age group is talking about?
Well, I'm 33, so majority of my friends in my age group are thinking about having kids, or on their second or third child. I feel like the thing that we talk the most about in our friend group and also on BDA Baby is just overall burnout. And that's burnout with your kids at home, it's burnout in relationships, and burnout with trying to make everything perfect. Your friendships perfect, your work life perfect. It's just like an overall sense of burnout and a need for support in that.
So when you go to your doctor for a checkup, or when you're talking to your doctor about burnout, are you talking to her about sex? Are you talking to her about pregnancies?
I feel like it's definitely hormones, pregnancy right now at this phase of my life. There's a lot of questions now when I go in about mental health specific questions. How are you feeling at home? How are you feeling in pregnancies? How are you feeling postpartum? There's a lot more awareness and conversation about that with doctors, I feel like, and also in my friend group. Then I feel like you reflect on having that kind of conversation when you were our age.
When I talk to you, you're talking about a kind of a whole different group of women who haven't had children, who are talking about, should I freeze my eggs? How do I not get pregnant? Or should I be getting pregnant? Or should I be freezing my eggs? You're talking about PCOS. You're talking about endometriosis. You're talking about different things than I hear your age group are talking. So what is your group talking about, young women that you talk to? What do they talk about when they talk about women's health?
Yeah, well, it's interesting because I know you were saying, well, I'm 33, and given my age, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm 32, and given my age,
we're so far apart.
Yeah. But my friends and our conversations could not be more different.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends are working and trying to kind of figure out big life choices as to whether they want to freeze their eggs, or a lot of them are, not married yet, so they're kind of struggling with questions about whether they're with the partner they want to marry and if they're making the right choices there, struggling with financial issues. I have one girlfriend or two girlfriends now that are married, and the rest of them are really just trying to grapple with how to be in the healthiest relationship they can be in, how do they feel their best, whether it's mentally, emotionally, or physically, and kind of what that, lifestyle and world looks like for them.
It just feels like a couple years ago that most of our conversations were about birth control. Right? What's the right form of birth control? Should you be on the pill? Should you be on an IUD? What's new out there? Then all of a sudden it jumped to my gynecologist is telling me to freeze my eggs, overnight. But it seems to jump really quickly from your early 20s.
That happened to me because I went in after you had a baby, and I went to my gynecologist, and I was like, do I need to be freezing my eggs? How much time do I have? And I think I was 27 or just turned 28, and she was like, you have so much time, don't worry about it. I go in for 30, and she's like, so let's talk now about freezing your eggs. And I was like, hold on a second. I thought I had some time here. And every year it gets more I think we really should freeze your eggs. It's like a insurance policy, the pressure is on, meet with this person, which I was definitely unprepared for.
Do you feel overwhelmed by all of these topics about health? You're talking about birth control, freezing eggs, infertility, endometriosis, PCOS, pregnancy loss is a huge issue.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's overwhelming. I think that it's beautiful to be able to have the level of openness that I feel like our generation has with friends, but being able to have the support and the openness that you have with friends is, I think, great.
How big is sexual health in your generation? When I was your age, I never went, well, first of all, I had a male OBGYN. I know that's shocking to both.
I cannot even imagine. I just don't, to me, it's also you want somebody who's able to relate to how you're feeling.
I agree, but I know that you were I can't believe you. I was like, well, there were no women, OBGYNs at the time. I remember well after having 4 kids, I talked to my OBGYN, and he said, how's your sex life? And I was like, oh my God, I want to talk to you about that, But you guys speak pretty openly about all of that, right?
I mean, we speak openly about it, but also we've spoken to you about those things,
Yeah.
and that's definitely generational differences
sure.
because you would never have talked to your mom about that.
Never.
Well, I think there's also, luckily, like Katherine was saying, that there's so much more information today than there ever was. So there's a lot more awareness, I think, now. And I think, luckily, actually, from people in your generation, we're raising the alarm about, I'm having these health consequences right now. Could it be from the food I'm eating? Could it be from the products I've been using since I was a teenager? Mm-hmm. And I think that, luckily, people have been responding with putting in a lot of money into research about these things.
You, Christina, have done these films, one dealing with Adderall, one dealing with Xanax. How big are those issues in your age group?
Yeah, I mean, the movies also sprouted out from my personal experience with medications. I knew I wasn't the only person going through those experiences. I think that the mental health landscape has evolved so much just even within the past few years, and the level of awareness is amazing. And so now we're able to have conversations around these topics without the kind of weight of, am I being judged? What are they thinking about the fact that I'm taking these medications? But I actually find a lot more people my age today going into therapy, whether it's like cognitive behavioral therapy or going on retreats or trying acupuncture or trying to change their lifestyle or their diet, to do all those things before they start taking medication.
The other thing that seems to be kind of when we talk about women's health, there's been a real surge in women and alcohol, particularly women, kind of who've had kids maybe, or women who find themselves in their 30s and 40s, a huge uptick in that and that conversation around your health. Do you hear a lot about that?
I feel like that's all over social media.
It's all over social media.
All over social media is like, drinking when you have kids, drinking when your kids go to sleep, looking forward to that drink at the end of the day because of the chaos that is in your life between working, between going and, being a present parent, being a partner. Like there's so much. I saw somebody actually post recently about, kind of going against that because so many people were posting about going to games with, their children's soccer games and having alcohol in their cups, or being able to go after you drop your kid off at school and getting a drink in the morning, like those kinds of conversations. And somebody recently posted, we see people doing this, but it's actually not funny. Yeah. There's a larger conversation to be had there, which is why do you find yourself needing to have that drink? So we have, in our family, we're, I think, not the same as everybody, that we talk about alcohol a lot. You've always raised us with a very open communication about alcohol, about drugs, about what that does to you. Also understanding that, as we grew up, that we would experiment with certain things and that we could be lucky enough to be open with you and honest and also have our siblings in that. But also, there is, as you get to certain chapters of life, seems to me, especially since entering motherhood, that there's definitely like a big push of moms being like, these kids, they're crazy, like I need to have a drink. And that's something that I see widespread across America.
How big a deal is it, like, you're at 26, everybody goes, they're having to be responsible for their own insurance, like finding a doctor who's in the network, how much this all costs, foregoing doctor's appointments because of the cost of it.
Yeah. I know a lot of, actually, it's unfortunate, I know a lot of girlfriends that forego kind of annual physicals. A lot of times because they either can't afford insurance or they're not getting it through their job. I think a lot of them are lucky to get it through their job, though, too. But I think that just what you're talking about, kind of the advocacy and awareness of trying to find someone that's right for you. Yeah. But also something that I personally struggle with myself is, like, you have to be your own self-advocate. And that takes a lot of, like, internal kind of fortitude and confidence in yourself, because you can easily be swayed or easily be silenced in a lot of ways when it comes to being with a doctor or practitioner. And I think that that kind of goes hand in hand with trying to find the right doctor, or trying to find the right prescription, or trying to find the right PT, or whatever it is, the right acupuncturist, is being able to really now at this point understand that you have to be your own advocate.
When you look at women my age, or women who are in their 50s, women who start talking about aging, does that freak you out? Or do you think, like, uh-oh, or
I already feel like I'm having the conversation about aging, but I'm also, I've been like, since I was 16, I'm like, do I see a wrinkle coming in? Oh my God.
I say to my friends, oh my gosh, these girls in their 30s talk more about being old than I do.
I mean, we are really lucky that we have, like, we look at you and I'm like, that's goals, you know, like you are very I'll let Christina speak for herself, but I feel like, you know, I mean, I'm excited. I think like you're
excited to get older.
Well, I think if you are given the ability to get older, looking at it as a gift, you know, you talk about it in a way where it shifts people's perspective, not like, oh my God, it's like, oh my God, I'm getting old. It's, I get to get older and I get to be on this planet and watch my children live their lives and build their lives and see grandchildren and have fun adventures and have girls' nights and, you know, go on these fun trips with my family and, you know, also be there to be in communication with my kids as they grow and they find their own interests.
Do you feel like that we have an open communication about your guys' health journey? Do you feel like you get all your questions answered or you know what to expect? Or
super open.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. Like Katherine said, I think that you and Dad are kind of goals and have set a great example for all of us as to kind of really how to engage with aging, how to embrace it, and how to really, you know, live life to the fullest up until like the very end, like Grandma and Grandpa did.
Yeah. And I think also like we're really lucky to be able to have open and honest communication with our mom. I think we are really lucky that we can come to you and say, hey, I'm feeling this way. Did you ever feel that way? Or do you know what I should do if I feel that way? And you have always been really open with sharing all of your experiences throughout your entire life and beyond about mental health, physical health, spiritual health, and just being open about it.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on our streaming channel, Today All Day. To watch, head to today.com/allday or click the link right here.